Hello everyone, I'm Matthias and here with a new anime recap video. This anime is one of my favorite isekai type anime, it's kinda relaxing and fun to watch. Today I'll share this anime with you guys. It started with our protagonist wake up in the another world with a crazy expensive looking armor. He's pretty strong despite his appearance as a skeleton, but he hasn't realized it yet. He is also accompanied by a beautiful elf girl, and they eventually grow closer just like any other rom-com anime, with series of funny moments, adventures, and so on. Well, did you begin to wonder how our protagonist and the elf girl meet? What adventure awaiting them? That one we'll find out in this video. So let's get started.
I got loyalty inside my DNA. I got loyalty inside my DNA. I got loyalty, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got pain and joy inside my DNA.
When our protagonist awakens, he finds he is trapped in a fantasy world that appears to be like a game. As a big gamer, he concludes from his belongings that he is transformed into a game's character. Ark, a knight cursed with a curse that turned into a skeleton, seems like. He soon discovers that, in addition to his knightly skills, he has access to other S-tier abilities in this world. Ark decides to become a mercenary to make money in order to survive in this world. Before becoming a mercenary, he must first hunt 3 monsters in exchange for a mercenary card. Ark accomplishes the hunting mission quickly. On his way back to the mercenary guild, he encounters a gang of bandits who are harassing a rich girl and her maid. Ark is kind, therefore he cannot bear seeing the girls abused, so he assists them and kills the bandits. He also offers to escort the girls back to town, and he took the bandits' goods with him before leaving. When Ark returns to the city, he trades the monsters for his mercenary card at the mercenary guild. The guild's head informs Ark that one of the creatures has a magical stone hidden in its corpse and hand it to him. The magic stone is the most valuable part of a monster and can be used to create magical items and weapons. Ark's first mission as a mercenary is to escort a little girl to pick up medicine from the forest. The girl named Marka. In his way, he found a small wounded fox, and he uses his skills to save him. Soon after, he named him Panta. Panta, a little spirit fox, has since become Ark's pet. Ark and the girl continue their journey deep in the forest, then attacked by a ferocious giant lizard. This lizard monster is not only strong, but also can spray poison from his mouth. Ark carries the girl to a safe location before engaging in a battle with the monster. While defending himself with his shield, Ark quickly slays the gigantic lizard with his sword skill. Ark notices the monster is wearing a strange magical ring on its foot at this time. Ark wants to enjoy his adventures after killing that monster and decides to take on some challenging missions. For example, he wants to fight the bandits in the mountain, but he easily kills them once again. When Ark walks out with the bandit's gold from the cave, a beautiful elf mistakes him as a bandit and attempts to kill him. When the hot elf spots Panta, she immediately stops fighting. Panta, in truth, is a fairy sacred creature who only shows friendliness to elves and kind humans. Because of Panta's existence, the elf lowers her guard towards Ark and reveals her reason for her mission. Her name is Ariane, and she has come to save the elves who have been captured by humans. Unfortunately, the bandits moved the elves a long time ago. Ark is overjoyed because this is the first time he has encountered an elf since arriving in this fantasy world. He offers to assist Ariane in rescuing her comrades, but Ariane declines because she does not trust humans. Ark becomes concerned after Ariane leaves and searches for leads. He comes across Ariane in the forest where the elves live. At the time, she was fighting a group of elf smugglers who soon realize they are no match for Ariane and threaten her with elves they have captured and ask her to lay down her weapons. Ark casts a spell that instantly overwhelms the smugglers when Ariane was at a disadvantage. He also saves the trapped elves. At the same time, Ariane was surprised that Ark not only has healing magic, but he also rescued the imprisoned elves. This type of magic, according to Ariane, can only be learned by a deity. Ariane lets down her guard after realizing that such a strong man is taking the effort to help her, and she asks him to help her free the other imprisoned elves. Ark's heart was moved by Ariane's beauty, and he has made it his mission to assist her. At Ariane's instruction, Ark meets with Danka, an elf warrior, in the bar to discuss tonight's battle. Later that night, they show up at the fortress location. When Ark hears that Danka plans to launch an attack on the guards, he quickly rounds up the 2 elves and makes his way into the fortress by using his dimensional step skill. Danka is shocked and realizes that he has been underestimating Ark's power. They separated to investigate potential hiding spots for the elves. Unexpectedly, while investigating the fortress, Ark discovers a great number of bodies, all of whom appear to have been killed at once. In the midst of Ark's confusion, he is suddenly attacked with Ninja Star. Ark comes to realize that the attacker is a ninja based on his outfit. Since Ponta, who is standing next to Ark, is usually friendly with elves, the ninja believes that Ark comes to save the elves. The ninja hands Ark a document on trafficking slaves and reveals the location of the elves' prison. Ark follows the ninja's instructions and soon locates the kidnapped elves. The paper also reveals that 2 additional elves are currently imprisoned in the Lord's castle. Apparently, the ninja is not just friendly to the elves, but also shares the same enemies. The elves are then sent home by Denka, while Ariane and Ark carry on with their rescue mission. This time, Ark and Ariane sneak into the Lord's castle with the help of Ark's dimensional step skill. The Lord is about to physically abuse 2 young elves in the bedroom. Ariane gets there just in time to unleash her special ability on him. The 2 saved elves got their revenge on the Lord. The sound of the Lord's screaming spreads around the castle, drawing the guards with them in a hurry. The elves use the chaos to their advantage and make a breakaway from the castle. Meanwhile, Ark, who has been observing the battle, sets out to find the Lord's treasure. An explosion shakes the castle and Ark, carrying Ariane and the treasures, quickly casts Transfer Gate skill and escapes. They aren't the only ones who manage to get inside the castle, it seems. A ninja they've met before sneaked into the castle too. After saving the elves, Ariane invites Ark to the elf village in the hopes of forming a long-term alliance with him. Since Ark is aware that the elves do not welcome foreigners, he is worried that if Ariane finds out he is actually a skeleton, she would turn on him. After learning about Ark's curse, Ariane swears to treat him with kindness always and manages in convincing him to remove his helmet. Ark is moved by Ariane's kindness and agrees to follow her to the elves' village. They soon arrive to the village. Ariane successfully convinces her mother Glenys and father Dylan, the village elder, to accept Ark after hearing his story. They also are quite happy to see Ark and express their gratitude for his assistance to the elfin folks. The following day, Ariane and her dad report the human actions to the elder elves at the meeting. 600 years ago, the land was split in 2 after a big battle between elves and humans. The war was finally put to rest 400 years ago when a peace agreement was made between elves and humans. Although it was a human who originally violated the agreement this time, the elders feel that Ariane was also responsible for destroying the Lord's castle. It would be easy to let war break out again if the situation were handled poorly. In the end, they make the decision to rescue the other kidnapped elves while keeping an eye on the humans' movements. Meanwhile, Glenys challenges Ark to a duel, curious about his powers. Therefore, Glenys is able to easily defeat him. This defeat has taught Ark that it is not enough to have better gear and skills, he also needs battle experience. After a long day of fighting, Ark decides to relax in the bathtub, and then, out of the blue, he runs across Ariane, who has also come to the bath. Ariane's embarrassment causes her to punch out Ark when he sees a glimpse of her naked body. Dylan has recently entrusted Ark with traveling to neighboring kingdoms with Ariane to look into the suspected trafficking of elves. In exchange, Dylan shares valuable information about lifting Ark's curse. In the territory of the Dragon King, there is a trees with crowns shaped like dragons. Curses can be broken by touching the spring that surrounds the tree. Humans will require the aid of elves if they want to enter the forest. Apparently, Ark has doubts about whether or not he is cursed. To confirm it, he casts a spell to lift the curse from himself, which causes his hand to temporarily regenerate flesh. Ark accepts Dylan's commission in order to lift the curse. Not long after setting out, they are ambushed by a haunted wolves. Ark plans to use his own brute strength to kill it, but he doesn't think it will be flexible and how it acts and hard to tell apart from the real thing. Ariane, the most combat experienced, is the one to manage to break the deadlock by attacking the haunted wolves with elf magic. When the opportunity comes, Ark jumps straight towards the wolves' leader. A familiar magic ring appears at that moment on the wolves' leader's foot. Ark destroyed the magical ring. The wolves' leader quickly stopped his attacks and retreated with the remaining wolves. The haunted wolves, like the giant lizard, appears to be somehow under control. After learning that the Lord is illegally trafficking elves, Uriana heads out for the one country with connections to the elves in an attempt to negotiate and prevent war. Her older brother's primary worry is how he could use this situation to take control of the throne. In an unexpected turn of events, her older brothers secretly hire assassins to eliminate her from the throne struggle. At the same time, Ponta, who has excellent hearing and smell, notices the smell of blood not too far away, and he and Ark rush to the scene. There are bodies all over the ground that Ark sees, and the assassins were taking Uriana's item to leave. Ark tries to assist as quickly as possible, but several of the assassins still get away. Ark sees the dead girls and recalls that he has the ability to bring the dead back to life in the game. To that end, he used his skill Resurrection right away. The newly dead are then brought back to life. But if the body is too damaged or the person has already been dead for a long period of time, then cannot be brought back to life. Confused, Uriana stares at the holy light coming from Ark's back. However, when she fully awakening, Yuriana believes of it as a miracle and convinced herself what she does is a god's will. Ark was hiding when he hears the guards refer to Yuriana as the princess. Ariane and Ark head to the country after, as Ark comes across the ninja he met previously. Shiomi is the name of the ninja. After seeing Ark's strength and kindness, she asks his aid in freeing her fellow beastmen from human slavery. In exchange, Shiomi says she will give information about the elves that were kidnapped. They eventually form an alliance and join Shiomi on her mission to save the beastmen. Shiomi has joined another ninja named Gomen. He's willing to become friends with Ark after seeing Ark's incredible strength. Next, Gomen uses Earth Magic Ninjutsu skill. This ninjutsu skill not only makes its users invincible to attacks, but also force the ground to shake and create spikes, using them to attack their enemies. Meanwhile, Ark works with Gomen by using Rock Fang skill. The giant spikes sticking out of the ground inside the castle stun the guards right away. Shiomi takes advantage of the chaos caused by Gomen and sneaks into the dungeon where the beastmen and others are being held. Shiomi and Ariane easily defeat the common soldiers in their way. While trying to save the beastmen, they discover that there are many living ones who are ready to be sold as slaves, but also many dead. These slave traders see beastmen only as goods. They will kill them the moment they get sick or injured to avoid wasting food. The news has made everyone very angry. Ark uses teleportation skill to transport the beastmen to a safe place. Then he runs upon Gomen, who helps him start a fire and burn the building. The news of the destruction of the fortress has angered Prince Dekers, the person behind selling beastmen. One of his own men suddenly attacks him, killing him. Prince Sect, who is seeking for the throne, who is behind this assassination. Sect realizes that Dekers assassinated Yuriana and concludes that the castle has been a target. So he sets a trap and places Yuriana's necklace next to Dekers, telling a story that Dekers kills Yuriana and plans a rebellion, but is killed by his soldiers for doing the correct thing. So the king won't look into what happened to Dekers. Stek is currently unaware that Yuriana is still alive, and he is quite pleased with the fact that he is the chosen successor. Meanwhile, Yuriana arrives to her destination. Her sister, who is living at the same place, meet her. After listening to her sister information the recent incidents, Yuriana gets that Sect has to be the one to try to kill out the royal family members one by one if he wants the throne for himself. Yuriana asks her sister to keep her secret, saying she doesn't want any trouble caused by others knowing out she's still alive. Then, following an arrangement made with her sister, she resumes her secret affair with the Elves. In the meantime, Shiomi gives Ark and Ariane the information. Humans sell the Elves they capture to another nation. The country they are in now is huge, but this one is even bigger. Domitianus, the current emperor, he was secretly backed Ikares to get the throne. At the moment, they are unaware that Domitianus' man Fumba is the one behind the monsters that are controlled by the magical ring. When Ark and Ariane arrived in the country, they encountered a large number of flying wyverns. Ark is excited since he has never seen anything like that. However, Ariane is feeling a little worry. As a way of communication, she has brought along a bird that can mimic human speech. Ariane relies on it to keep contact with her fellows. However, wyverns in the air prevent the birds flying. Ark is aware of Ariane's worries and uses lightning skill, Lightning Damper, to scare the flying wyverns away. However, Ark does not fully control the range of this ability, resulting in him harming his friends and getting a harsh scolding from Ariane. Furthermore, they still have two issues to resolve. The fact that Ariane is an elf requires her hiding the elf ears that give her away. A second problem is that they don't have a map of the nation, making it difficult for them to choose a direction. Karsi, an elf, suddenly shows up before them. He overhears their chat and sees Ark unleash the powerful magic of lightning. Karsi, a monster expert, provides Ark with a map and an illustrated book of monsters for his help in capturing them. Curious about this new place, Ark agrees to the terms. Ariane notices Karsi's elf ears are showing and offers to help him cover them up out of concern for his safety from the humans in the area. Karsi has been living among humans for the past decade and is convinced that they and elves can live together. Ariane and Ark decide to spend the night at the local pub so they can try the local specialty wine. When Ariane unexpectedly starts roaring drunk, Ark is at a loss for what to do. Because of all the noise in Ark and Ariane's room, people in the next rooms mistakenly assume the couple is engaging in some discreet behavior. Karsi wants to kill sandworms, which are a type of monster that lives underground. An adult one is about 5 meters long and is very afraid of fire. Karsi brings food that sandworms like to eat on intent to capture them, and soon they lured one. This, however, is 30 meters in length. Ariane tries to burn it down, but to no effect. Ark rushes to her assist at the moment. The sandworm, which is 30 meters in length, is no match for his overarm throw, which he uses to defeat it. When the sandworm is finally destroyed, Ark sees that the magical ring it had has vanished. It appears that someone is also controlled this sandworm. Fumba, who is using monsters as puppets, is the one who manipulating it. He has many horrific monsters living in his home as pets. Most of their food consists of young, attractive women. Therefore, he often orders his men to kidnap women who are alone. Ark and Ariane, equipped with a map provided by Karsi, have already started investigating several leads across the nation. In his way, Ark saves a young girl from being kidnapped by bad guys and is rewarded with a hug from the girl. Ariane, who is on her way to meet him, happens to see it. She's definitely jealous if she did say anything around Ark, and ends up leading him to where the elves are hiding. Then they head to Fumba's fortress. It appears that 4 months ago, elves were brought to this fortress after being captured. They then attack the fortress, where they discover many empty cells with what seems to be hair belongs to the beastman. Fumba finds out and shows up, completely taken surprise by Ariane's hot body. Fumba suddenly gives Ariane the command to kill Ark. Ariane jumps towards Ark with her sword before he can defend himself. Ark sees no emotion in Ariane's eyes and quickly casts a spell to wake her up, realizing that she is under someone else's control. Oddly, Ariane seems to only regain conscious short enough, then attack him again. Suddenly, Ark sees something odd in Ariane's headwear and orders Ponta to attack. After digging into her headwear, Ponta pulls out a little monster. With his fire skill, Ark burns the monster to ash. It appears that Fumba is able to manipulate her thoughts by using the monster. Ark put Ariane down and focuses on Fumba. He notices that Fumba is wearing the same kind of magical rings as the monsters he fought in his journey. He suspects Fumba is involved with the earlier incidents, so he orders him to reveal the elves' location. Fumba calls out a big white tiger and reveals that most of the elves are used in experiments, and that the ones he played with end up as food for his pets. Out of rage, Ark cuts off the head of a white tiger in front of him. Fumba sees the threat and quickly summons additional monsters to fight with Ark, but they are easily defeated. So Fumba starts looking for ways to let the monsters attack Ariane. Shiomi appears just in time to prevent the monsters. Previously, Shiomi is the one who revealed the location of Fumba Fortress to Ariane. With all of his monsters killed, Fumba uses his skills. The ground inside the fortress shakes suddenly, as if something were coming from the ground. Ark quickly uses teleportation magic to transport his friends away from the fortress. The ground opens up as a Hydra appears. Ark realizes right away that this is the game's high-level monster, one that is capable of powerful spells and rapid regeneration. They were on shock when the Hydra attacked them. It would have been impossible to defend against the attack if Ark didn't have such a high-level shield. When Ark was fighting the Hydra, Ariane, who is slowly recovering, decides to attack Fumba with Shiomi. This battle is far more intense than any of Ark's previous fights. Whatever magic he uses, the Hydra is able to use its super regenerative powers and regain its strength. Ark can summon Ifrit using his skill. It is a high-level demon with the size of a Hydra. Ariane and Shiomi find Fumba's hiding place on the other side of the battlefield. Shiomi has done a lot of research on Fumba's power and destroys the totem on his body, look like a tattoo in his back. It seems that Fumba uses the totem to control the monsters. His attitude changes after losing this power, and he humility begs for mercy, claiming that he was only following the Emperor's orders. Ariane simply ignores it and uses magic on Fumba for the dead elves with fire. While Ariane completes her revenge, Ark's battle is nearly over too. Ifrit is simply too powerful for Hydra. It has been beaten and is running in all directions. Ark does not allow it to flee, throwing the Hydra into the air, and Ifrit uses the opportunity to use the flame, reducing the Hydra to ashes. Ifrit, who was fearsome earlier, immediately becomes a pet and waits by Ark's side until the summoning timer expires. When Shiomi sees Ifrit, she is shocked and started to admire Ark's strength. Soon after, Ariane's bird brings her information from the folks. Meanwhile, Uriana meets with the elf leader Fangas and promises to assist in the rescue of the other kidnapped elves. It reminds Ariane of what Karsi said, and she wonders if humans and elves can truly live together peacefully. In fact, Ariane's message isn't the point of this meeting. Uriana wishes to gain the support of the elves in addition to keeping the peace. Her brothers had the backing of 2 different nations, both of which had split off after the Great War between elves and humans hundreds of years ago, according to their conversation. They'd never been kind with elves. Sect will most likely inherit the throne after Dekares dies, and the country that backs Sect for the throne is hostile to the elves. Uriana promises to defend the elves as long as they assist her in obtaining the throne. Fangas agrees to work with Uriana after considering the benefits and disadvantages. Skeleton Knight in Another World is a really funny and relaxing isekai anime with some good action scenes thrown in as a bonus. Ark, our protagonist, it seems like it was inspired by the appearance of Aeons from Overlord, but his unique personality and top-notch humorous approach set him apart from his influence. With that said, this anime stands out in a season full of lighthearted style and emphasis on fun and humor isekai stories. If you are looking for good, relaxing, cheerful fun anime, then this is something I recommend for you. That's it, guys. If you like this recap, smash that subscribe button and like the video. Bye, see you guys in the next videos.